They say the truth sets you free. But what if the truth is a trap? What if uncovering it means losing everything? Johannesburg at night is alive with the hum of cars, the distant echoes of sirens, and the occasional flicker of streetlights struggling to keep the darkness at bay. Amid the chaos, I sit at my desk in a dimly lit newsroom, the glow of my laptop screen casting eerie shadows on my cluttered workspace. My fingers hover over the keyboard, my breath shallow, as I scroll through the images in front of me. A handshake between a high-profile government official and a known crime syndicate leader. Transactions wired to offshore accounts. A pattern of disappearances, whistleblowers, journalists, people like me. I glance over my shoulder. The newsroom is mostly empty now, save for the distant sound of a radio playing an old jazz tune. My editor, Mr. Dubé, emerges from his office, his face etched with concern. "Lerato, this is dangerous territory," he says, placing a hand on the edge of my desk. "The last reporter who chased this story disappeared. Be careful." I narrow my eyes, leaning in. "What happened to them, Mr. Dubé?" He hesitates, shifting uncomfortably. "They were working on a lead, just like you. One night, they vanished. No trace, no goodbye. Their apartment was ransacked, their notes missing. The police called it a runaway case, but we all knew better." A chill runs down my spine. "And you think I could be next?" Mr. Doob sighs, rubbing his temples. "I think you need to decide how far you're willing to go before there's no turning back." I take a deep breath, shutting my laptop. If we stay silent, we're part of the problem. I have to expose them. His eyes study me for a long moment before he nods slowly. "Then you better move fast before they move on you." Later that evening, I make my way to an underground parking garage. The air is thick with the scent of oil and damp concrete. I pull my hoodie tighter around my face as I step into the dimly lit space, my heart pounding. A shadow moves in the corner and my contact steps forward. "You're digging too deep," the distorted voice warns. "This isn't just corruption. It's murder, Lerato. Walk away." I swallow hard. "Who's behind it?" "Give me a name." The figure hesitates. "There's more at play than you know. Someone in your circle can't be trusted." Before I can press further, the screech of tires echoes through the garage. Headlights beam toward us, blinding me. I turn sharply, but my informant is already gone. My instincts scream at me to run, but I force myself to walk away calmly, knowing I'm being watched. Back at my apartment in Braamfontein, I take a moment to absorb the familiar surroundings. The building is old but well-maintained, a relic of a once thriving creative district now caught between gentrification and decay. My one-bedroom unit is modest. Exposed brick walls, a single window overlooking the bustling streets below, and a bookshelf overflowing with case files, newspapers, and a few sentimental trinkets. The scent of burnt coffee from my morning rush still lingers in the air. Despite its cramped space, this apartment has been my sanctuary, a place where I piece together the fragments of truth. But tonight, something feels off. I close the door behind me, exhaling shakily. Something feels off. My papers are scattered. My laptop is open, screen glowing. Someone was here. My stomach knots with unease. Before I can react, red and blue lights flood my small living room. A pounding knock shakes my door. "Lerato Mthembu, you're under arrest for the murder of Minister Kumalo." The words hit me like a sledgehammer. What? That's insane. I just uncovered his corruption. Before I can explain, hands grab me, yank me forward. Cold steel cuffs snap around my wrists. I struggle, panic rising in my chest. Outside, cameras flash. Reporters shout questions. My colleagues stand frozen, their faces a mixture of horror and disbelief. Back at the newsroom, Mr. Dubé's phone buzzes urgently on his desk. He answers, his voice gruff with exhaustion. Dubé speaking. Sir, it's Thandi. Have you seen the news? Lerato, she's been arrested. The young reporter's voice is filled with panic. Mr. Dube stiffens, gripping the phone tightly. What? Arrested? On what charge? Murder. Minister Kumalo, they're saying she did it. But that doesn't make sense, sir. She was investigating him. A heavy silence hangs between them. Mr. Dubé exhales slowly, his mind racing. Then someone wanted her silenced, and we need to find out who. The ride to the police station is a blur of flashing lights and suffocating fear. At Johannesburg Central Police Station, the walls of the interrogation room are stained with years of cigarette smoke and silent confessions. A dim, flickering fluorescent light casts eerie shadows on the dull gray walls. The room is cold, almost unnaturally so, as if designed to make those who sit here uncomfortable, vulnerable. The metal chair beneath me is stiff and unyielding, bolted to the floor. A single one-way mirror stares back at me, reflecting the fear in my eyes. The only sound is the steady ticking of the clock above the door. In the interrogation room, I sit with my hands shaking, staring at the one-way mirror. The door creaks open, and a man in a sharp suit steps in. He carries himself with quiet confidence, his smirk unsettling. He leans forward, his voice low. You wanted the truth? Now you're part of the story. My pulse pounds in my ears. I'm trapped, and I have no idea who to trust.